Hello everybody, welcome back to the Celestial Heart. My name is Samantha. I hope everyone has had an amazing holiday season where you ate loads of good food and saw a bunch of amazing people. Happy New Year. And with a new year comes a new bullet journal setup. So today we will be going over my 2019 bullet journal setup as well as my January setup. So without further ado, let's just get started. Hello everybody, welcome to the downward view. As I have mentioned before, for the past 3 years, I've been using the Leuchtturm 1917 notebook, but this year I decided to switch it up and change to a more custom setup. So this is my previous notebook. I would say if you'd like to see what's in it, go through my 2018 flip through, which is going to be linked in the cards and down below. All right, so this is my 2019 bullet journal. I have decided to purchase a cover as well as a notebook because the notebook that I have does not have like an elastic strap around it, and that's completely okay with me. Okie dokie. So this is a Koyuko Systemic A5 cover in gray that I purchased online in Amazon. And the notebook is a Tomoe River FP notebook A5 dot grid in white. So a couple of things. The cover has a bunch of different slots, as you can see over here. And then also has a couple smaller slots here and a big one here for the notebook itself. You can probably put a companion notebook in here without a problem. The notebook itself has a hard cover. However, it has very thin pages. It is fountain pen friendly. However, it is still very thin and there's still a lot of ghosting, but not too much bleed through. Okay, so if you flip it open, the first page you're gonna see is my key page up here. I have a couple different things on here. Some are very bullet journal proper and others are my own signifiers. So I have dot for task, circle for event, a slash through it for started, an X for completed, dash for note, asterisk for important. We have a squiggly line for tentative, a heart for gratitude. I have a gift for birthday, a couple of 16th notes for currently listening to, an I for explore, and then I have a sun for wake up, the time I wake up. A right facing arrow means migrated within the page, or 2 pages in a spread. And then a left facing arrow means scheduled beyond the page. Then the play button for YouTube, because that is my main focus this year, is to work on my YouTube channel. Also have a couple things. So I have home, work and finances, and the star for personal. I also am using a couple color keys, blue for home, green for work and finances, yellow for personal, and red for YouTube. Down here I have some information in case it gets lost with my phone number and my email address, which I have blurred up, as you can see. Okay, this one right here is my painting of the year. So I always start a new bullet journal with a new painting to set out the tone and my intentions for the year. This year I wanted to paint something that was calm and also depicting the light and the dark. And with that, I have a quote at the back that says, "In you darkness and light are but one." Last year, as I mentioned before, was a very tough year for me. I went through a lot of different personal issues and things that were very challenging. But through it all, I have emerged victorious in a way, because I have learned a lot of things that have helped me through my growth as a person, and it has also helped me define what I would like to be doing in the next couple of years. A thing that I do want to mention is that I am a little sick today, so if I sound a little congested, that is why. Okay, Next page right over here is my index. I am a type of person who likes using the index, although I do know that this topic sort of splits the community a little bit. Not everybody uses an index, but I find it very easy to use the index in kind of grouping things or pages that are supposed to connect to one another. And I'm probably going to use like half of this page for custom indexes in the future. Probably do an update on that eventually. More index pages. As I said, these pages are not numbered, so I have numbered them myself. All right, this is probably one of my favorite spreads so far. It is my 2018 memory spread. In 2017, I was not able to complete this, so this is what that was supposed to look like. So a couple of key highlights for myself this year. I graduated college. I assembled this desk that you are seeing. I am very proud of that. I launched my first YouTube video and YouTube channel, launched my brand. My boyfriend also launched his first coffee company. So I'm gonna link his stuff down below because it's really awesome and you should check it out, especially if you're in California. Alrighty. If you watched my previous video, you probably already know that I start off my year by writing out my numerology. This year I'm in the 8-year cycle. Now my numerology helps me out a lot because I believe that we go through kind of seasons as people. We go through different seasons in our life, and the numerology helps in sort of taking a look or a sneak preview of what the year might be about energetically. Last year was very accurate to the year that I did have, and so this year it's about personal power, true understanding, reward, balance, and achievement. I have been stronger than I have ever been before. As I said earlier, I believe that is true because of all the challenges that I went through. This is about turning my visions into material reality, and by starting the YouTube channel, I definitely think that is so. It's all about consistent action and determination, and also balancing my ego. Everybody has an ego, but there you go. That's what that year is about. Next here is I have a couple of questions to ask for my brain dump spreads. These questions over here are more of the questions that writer Carol posed in his bullet journal method when doing intention or goal setting. These questions over here are a couple questions that I listed based on what I would like to see. So example, what new actions would I want to do to resonate to my word of the year, which is freedom? What will give me most joy? What will make me feel the happiest? What will allow me to live in the most creative way? What is my divine self-expression? And how can I live it out? And what beliefs will help me choose my reality? A lot of this year was also clarifying the beliefs that I have about myself and the world that I live in. And it has been very helpful for me because as soon as I kind of refined those beliefs and really like ask myself what I believe in, it was easier to move forward with a better mindset. All right. So keeping this in mind, I did my brainstorm for 2019. This is based on my happiness spread that I did in my previous journals, which is this one right here. So instead of just happiness, I wanted to focus on a word that I wanted to feel. My idea of success and happiness is freedom. And so that's why I chose the word freedom as my word of the year. So I wrote out 8 categories to kind of view my life. That would be self-care, creativity and passion, finance and career, relationships, spirituality, contributions, adventure, home and environment. So with these 8, I have created some flowcharts and thought bubbles around it pertaining to the questions that I asked. For example, I have self-care. What will give me most happiness or what will make me feel freedom. That would be meditation, doing my miracle morning, doing yoga, saying affirmations, doing a week reset every day. So those are a couple of different things that I would like to focus on when it comes to my self-care. Now, as you can see, this is very jumbled, but this is what I use to create a life wheel and intention spread, which we will be going over in a little bit. Okay. Next page is my tarot spread for 2019. I am getting into tarot cards as of recent. My tarot cards are gonna be this Celtic tarot deck that I have covered up. But it's this one right here. And I have been using it to find more clarity in my life. So I did a Celtic cross spread. So it's an 11 card spread, and these are all the notes that I got from that. We'll not be going over this spread, but if in case you're interested, I'll probably make some more videos about tarot. Okay, next is my future log. So I have been setting up vertical future logs for the past 3 years or so. I have January through April. I have 4 months to one spread, May through August, and then September to December. Over here, you're gonna see that I actually pasted some paper to cover up a mistake that I did. So that's one thing you can do. You can just cut up a piece of paper from the back side of your notebook and paste it on here to cover up whatever mistake that you did. It's really no big deal. Also, for my future log, I've decided to put some washi tape on the side so that it's easy for me to access it. So I just have a couple of key things that are happening in the next few days. I might use some color codes for this, I'm not so sure yet. Okay, so I have 2 future logs. I also have a Calendex, so I have 2 ways of future planning. The Calendex, how it works is, I already actually have an example here really quickly. So I write out the different months, the days on the side, and then the day that it falls on. So for example, I have here written page 56. It is for Saturday, January 5th. So if I move to page 56, which you will see, I have here in yellow, meaning personal. January 5th, I have a dinner reservation in LA at 6:30, and then I wrote the address and the phone number of the restaurant. So that is a quick way for you to do future planning, even if you don't have a month set up. Calendex is very, very useful for that. Moving on is my life wheel and intention spread. Based on the brainstorm that I did, I make a life wheel and intention spread. The 8 categories that I wrote in, I put a color code for it. So for example, this is my self-care spread. On the top, you will see that I rate myself from 1 through 10. Got this concept from a couple people, namely Honey Roses and Boho Berry. So Boho Berry mentioned her level 10 life, and Honey Roses kind of did like an intention spread one day. I decided to kind of tweak it to my own way. And so I rate myself, and then I'm gonna re-rate myself either in the next 6 months or the next quarter. I think I'm gonna aim for the next quarter. And then I ask a couple of questions that I wrote in earlier. So, why do I want to focus on self-care? What is going well? What is not going well? What is the feeling of success? What'll it require? And then I write down some intentions, and then I continue asking questions. Now, the reason why I do this is because when I continue asking myself questions, I get to the core root of why I want to start doing something. And when I do that, it's easy for me to just get up in the morning and go and just start getting along with my day and doing things that really matter to me to give myself more fulfillment and also just be more balanced as a person. So if you also see right here, I have a couple of things in red, and that'll be separate collections that I will be doing in the next few days or so. The thing is, I don't really have all the time in the world to just write out all these collections, but at least these are things that relate to my self-care spread. Example is food to cook when I have no idea what to cook. So I'll probably make out a list of things and that I can refer to really quickly, that I can just like pre-meal prep or plan by doing that. Okay, so I've done the same for all of this, as you can see right here. Okay, so I have my creative affirmations spread. Every morning I recite some affirmations to myself. The reason why is because affirmations for me help rewire my subconscious mind and my belief patterns. So these things kind of encourage me to believe in the best beliefs that I can, so that it can help me throughout my life. Okay, so before I go over January's setup, I want to give you guys some examples of like separate collections. So I have here clothing declutter and analysis, and if you look over here, I have made a separate collection about clothing that I have marked in yellow, and that means this is related to this. And so I write out a declutter analysis of my KonMari clothing declutter, which I will be doing in the next few days or so. All right, that's everything for my 2019 setup. Now I move on to my January setup. So if you look over here, this is what my January setup looks like. I wanted to go for a celestial theme, or the Aurora Borealis. This is where I got the name the Celestial Heart. And heart came from a couple of heart meditations that I started doing, which really helped me get through a lot of stuff this year. So I have the Aurora Borealis, a couple of cozy little photos here. I have a reflection of the past year. I have a quote about the Northern Lights, and it says, "When I look at the Northern Lights, I see our ancestors dancing around a sacred fire, lighting the way for us when it's time for us to cross over from this physical world and join them." And then over here I have a flip in. So this is a fun way to kind of add more detail to your spreads. Here I have a couple things. I have the 8 categories and 2 things that I want to do for each category to make sure that I have a successful month. Next, if we move on, we have my tidbits. So I usually do a 1 line per day. I write out a line of what happened in that day to give a little snapshot of the day. And then I have my monthly log. So these are the things that I need to complete this month. Probably redecorate it when I go back to this. If there's a lot of blank space, I'll probably put some pictures or washi tape or drawings. We'll see what happens. That really just depends if I'm busy or not. And if I do get busy, that's totally fine. Next, I have my January weekly setup. This is what it looks like. So I have a tip tracker up here, a habit tracker based on my miracle morning, silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and scribing, or writing and journaling. Then I have a couple of things that I need to do this month as for chores, mainly chores and self-care, like hygiene type stuff. And then I have my week. I write out the temperature, relative temperature of the week. So, and then I have blank space journaling, or a couple of notes of what happened this day. And then I have things that I'm grateful for, and then my work schedule at the bottom. There you go. Same here. So I have 4 weeks of that, hopefully 5. Then I have a daily over here. I don't do dailies every day. I only do it when I need to, when I know that I have a time crunch and need to get a lot of stuff done. And that's when I do these time-sensitive dailies, where I write out how much time did I spend on myself and my home and in my work. So there you go. So the next page is more of like some finances, which I will not be showing. But that is everything for my 2019 bullet journal setup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. Please like this video down below if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification gear to get notified on the next few videos of the bullet journal series. And that being said, all great things start with a healthy mind and a healthy heart. Much love to everybody, and take care. Bye.